chapter 1. Mark chapter 1. And we will read in verse number 16. Now as he walked by the Sea of Galilee, he saw Simon and Andrew his brother casting a net into the sea, for they were fishers. And Jesus said unto them, Come ye after me, and I will make you to become fishers of men. And straightway they forsook their nets and followed him. If you are a Christian, Christ has saved you from sin and made you his child. And as children of God, we do not have to fear death and hell. Because of Christ, we are on our way to heaven. But Jesus did not save each one of us just so that we do not have to go to hell. He saved us so that we might follow him and become fishers of men. But far too many Christians won't forsake their nets to follow Christ. Now, what does it mean to forsake something? It means to abandon, renounce, or give up. This evening, I would like to share with you 4 kinds of nets that different Christians must forsake in order to follow Christ. Number 1, forsake your fishing net. For Simon Peter and Andrew, their fishing net symbolized their occupation as fishermen. Yet when Jesus said, Come ye after me, and I will make you to become fishers of men, they straightway, or immediately, forsook their nets, their life's work, to follow Christ. Maybe in your life, your job is keeping you from following Christ. Does your job keep you from attending church regularly? Or does your job require you to disobey any of God's commands or principles found in his words? Maybe there's nothing wrong with your job itself, but God wants you in full-time ministry. Whatever the case, follow Christ at all costs, even if it means forsaking your life's work. And as young people, teenagers, and young adults, as we look and see what we're going to do with our future and go to university, we should be mindful that we should choose an occupation that keeps us following God and does not keep us out of church or keep us from following the will of God. So number 1, forsake your fishing net. Number 2, forsake your social network. Luke 14 verse 26 says, If any man come to me, and hate not his father, and mother, and wife, and children, and sisters, yea, and his own life also, he cannot be my disciple. Disciple is a synonym of follower. So in order to follow Christ, all other relationships must take a back seat to him. You know, maybe there's a family member of yours, an unsaved family member, that is keeping you from following Christ. Or maybe it's a close friend at school or work. Someone that is keeping you from following Christ and becoming a fisher of men. Well, the Bible tells us to forsake that person in order to follow Christ. So number 1, forsake your fishing net. Number 2, forsake your social network. Anyone that is keeping you from following Christ. And 3, forsake your safety net. Now you might ask, what is a safety net? A safety net is defined as a safeguard against possible hardship or adversity. Now as Christians, we often create our own safety nets or comfort zones. We go to church 3 times a week, read our Bibles every day, and appear to be great Christians. But we wouldn't dare get out of our comfort zones and share the gospel with others, or stand up for what is right. This summer, as we have our Sunday night evangelism, I encourage you to abandon your comfort zone for Christ. Most of us are pretty scared of sharing the gospel with strangers, and that definitely includes me. But let us remember that Jesus Christ endured the shame and the agony of the cross for each one of us. And the least we can do for him is tell others about what he has done for us. Hebrews 12 verse 2 says, Looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is set down at the right hand of the throne of God. This summer, forsake your safety nets, your comfort zones, and share Christ with a lost and dying world.
Amen.
So number one, forsake your fishing net, your life work, if it's keeping you from following Christ. Number two, forsake anyone in your social network that is keeping you from following Christ. Number three, forsake your safety net. Get out of your comfort zone for Christ. And lastly, forsake the internet. The internet is an incredible commodity that allows people to virtually travel around the world and view a plethora of websites. The internet offers information, social outlets, news, entertainment, and much, much more. If used properly, it can be a very beneficial component of a Christian's life. However, the internet can also be a massive waste of time, as well as an outlet to sin. In my own life, my obsession with shoes caused me to waste many hours scouring the internet to view every athletic shoe imaginable. And it got to the point where I had to ask my mom to make a rule that I could only look at shoes one day a week. Now, I'll admit, that's pretty humorous. I don't think most people in this room have that problem. But I know that I'm not the only person who needs to forsake the internet to follow Christ. I encourage you to examine your life and make sure that you're not wasting time on the internet. Also, make this commitment in your heart. Psalm 101 verse 3 says, I will set no wicked thing before mine eyes. I hate the work of them that turn aside. It shall not cleave to me. The internet can be a wonderful thing, but it's also a very dangerous place. And we all ought to make that commitment in our heart that we will set no wicked thing before our eyes. So in conclusion, are there some nets in your life that you need to forsake in order to follow Christ? If so, don't waste any time. Peter and Andrew straightway or immediately forsook their nets to follow Christ, and we should do the same.